Hey, Keith Shannon from directcarpet.ca. Today, we got a lot of questions on the internet about how to do a bird cage, which is, the bottom stair on a lot of flights of stairs. So basically what we've done is I pre-cut my carpet. So how I do it, let's just show you how to pre-cut your carpet. You'll have to take your tape measure from here. You have to go all the way around, find out what that mark is, which I already know was 66. Then you want to go over here, fold it around the back, and fold it down to here, which is, 20, so I'll make it 22. So obviously you can see I'm doing this in one piece, and I'm gonna put that on like that. So when we prepare a stair, the pad goes here, and then a lot of people will put pad here. We fill it in with smooth edge because it's nice and even, nice and hard, which gives your stair that nice even flow. Rather than not putting any sticks here, you don't want it to kind of sink down. It doesn't really look good. Okay, so here we're going to start. We're going to try to go through this pretty quick so that you guys can get the gist of it. So obviously my carpet's straight edged on the bottom. It's nice and smooth. We are going to put this into place, and we are going to do this stair in one piece. Alright, so we're going to line up over here first. Make sure that it's nice. Move the pile so we don't get any staple marks.
Good.
Okay, so we're wiggling our staple gun in, and what that does is it kind of hides those staple marks, because you really don't want to see those staple marks. Make it nice, be pro, do a good job. So then we're going to fold this down underneath here. Now we have this underpad here so that we don't scratch the hardwood that's underneath. That's pretty important. So, I'm going to put a couple staples in underneath the nose to give it that nice wrap. I want to go right down as far as I can, just before the curve. Now, important, sharp blade. Sharp blade is the key to success. Watch out, don't cut yourself. All right. Now, important cut. Push tight on the front of that nose. This is where everyone has a hard time. So, you can see the back here, and you can see the front here. They're almost lined up. If I cut this thing straight through like this, bring this up to here, nice and tight. I'm gonna make a little release cut here. Okay, like that. I'm gonna get this through into here, and I'm gonna cut this bulk off here. Now that we got this loose, it's kind of its own separate stair. I break these guys up into two pieces. Now we're gonna give this a little tightening up. Get your kicker in there. Get it nice and snug. Once you got it nice and snug, you can see it. There's no bounce in there. Okay? Take your tucker. Score those pins. Make sure you lock that thing down. And see, we're a little loose over here. I like to take a kicker, give it a little push, little staple in the back, lock that into position. Get any of these hairs, usually pull them out, just cut them. Okay, so this is nice and tight. Give a little release cut on this spindle here. Now, let's get rid of this tail. All right, kittens, now all the easy work is done. Now we're gonna get into some of this hard stuff, okay? Basically, you just want to cut around everything and make sure that you be careful because the knife is sharp. And you want to put it back together the way that you cut it apart. No pressure, no nothing. See, we're going to get that guy back together, but we're going to leave him loose for now as we work our way around. You do not want to staple anything down until you have it all matched around. I'm going to show you a little magic cut here. Make sure that this is like this. You need to make this cut at the 90 underneath your stair. Okay? that's your tail that will go around there after. I'm gonna pull that back and get that out of the way for now. Now, when you start making these cuts, it's important that this is straight at the front. Bend it down so you can see what you're doing. Make a little release cut here. Work your way around. We want to work our way down around in a circle. Okay? I'm going to cut that up, and I'm going to put my line, my cut line between here and here, like this. Not too deep because you cut the pile on the other side. Okay, see, we put it right in the middle there. Look down, make sure that this is not twisting out too much. It will twist and you will have problems when you come around. So we're gonna go there again, we'll make a nice little release cut. And we're gonna keep going around, straighten this guy out, because look at, now my cut's a little far back. You gotta keep playing with it and make sure that, you know, it's gonna be loose. Now, because I have my big pole here, I'm gonna put my cut from here to here, which is gonna be something like this. We'll make a little release cut there. A little release cut there. Because I need to go all the way around. Now, just because this bulk is all in my way, remember we have this tail that's going to go around and cover that. All this piece has to do is go under that nose. So you know what? I'm going to cut it big. And I'm just going to get that out of my way. We don't need it. Now, we still want to keep this loose because we got to get this back together. So now I'm on the back side of that post, another release cut. Let's get that in there because this is the hard part. Getting it matched back up. So see, we're overlapped there, so we want to pull back a little bit. We got to line all those cuts back up. That's the important thing. See that? We're close here. We're close there. Bend it, push it, get it into position. I have to make a little release cut back here. We're good at the front here. See that, guys? We're really good there. We're pretty good there. I'm going to go over a little bit. Let's get it tight. We'll make a little release cut here because we can afford that now. Right? Let's get rid of some of this bulk here. So all you're really doing is getting rid of bulk until you get it down perfect. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Let's cut that little tail in there. Let's see, it's a little short. It's a tough one. Let's cut that back right there on an angle. Look, I'm going to push that back down in there. Get rid of this tail. Now, see, my knife got dull pretty quick. Important, change blade. Change blade all the time. All right, let's go back in there and layer that out. That looks good. Let's get into that. Follow the curve down. Let's follow the curve down here. Let's follow this one down here. Okay, I'm gonna make a little slice there. Sharp blade, worked well. Get that out of there. Now, let's get this guy in here. This guy should line up. See that, guys? This one's gonna go right in place because we lined those other ones up. Okay, so look at, guys, we are all lined up there. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to staple that together. Because we're all set up now we can kind of get to work. Split the pile, move it around a little bit so we don't get staple marks. Get that locked in there. Okay, so we're all locked in. Now, let's start getting rid of the excess. That's pretty good there. Give that a tuck. Put a little staple there. A little staple there. One more. All I'm doing is cutting around the post. Same at the front as at the back. Put a couple staples there. 1, 2, 3. It's a pretty sensitive area at the back because it's right on the curve. You want to get rid of staple marks? Bang them down a little bit. Okay, around the front here, I am going to cut that tail off. I'm going to cut this off. I'm gonna cut this off. Now guys, be careful when you're cutting around those poles, because if you cut too deep, you will mark those poles. I angle my knife down so that if I do score it or cut it, it's underneath where I'm tucking. That's the key. A lot of people ask me, how do you do that? How come you don't scratch that? How come that's there? I said, we are human, we're not perfect. We might cut that out a little bit because that's where that seam is. See that? We bang that in a little bit, bang that down a little bit, because that's what those pins do. Bang it down a little bit until those pins help lock that all into position as well and get rid of the staple marks. Okay, I'm going to switch around to the front there and finish that off. So we're going to cut that, get rid of that tail. We'll get rid of this tail. Sharp blade, guys, sharp blade. Get rid of that tail. Go down, bang it in. Okay, now that's basically done, guys. No scratches, no marks. Can't see it. Look, beautiful, beautiful. All right, next stage. Now, this is fun too. Let's get some staples going. Now listen guys, this staple gun, you can rent this anywhere. Home Depot, Lowe's, one of your rental places. You know, if you need a good staple gun, rent the staple gun. All right, so, now, this is the fun part. This is where the fun begins. We've got to take a square and wrap it into a circle. And you can't just put it like that and staple it. We've got to we got to make it happen. Now watch, I like to do it something like this. Go at the top of that wrap. See that wrap? Go at the top. And I make these pie-shaped cuts all around. Same at the back as at the front. So, and then I like to feel under here and get rid of some of this bulk. Okay, because I don't want to play with it. It's a pain in the butt. Okay, so get rid of it. Don't need it. All right, now, I always start on the outside here because it gets me into the groove a little bit. I've got to take a little bit off, like that. See that pressure? See how we're doing that, guys? We cut that on an angle like that. And then when we fold it underneath, voila, magique, okay? Now, we've got to do the same on all of them. Now, that's not the easiest thing to do. You know, no one's perfect, but we're going to get close. Okay, see that, guys? We roll that around. Now this one's cut, we roll that around. And I'll be doing the same around the back here. It's tricky, take off a little at a time. Look, roll it around the back, done. Same thing here. Little off, check it. You don't want to take too much off because then you got to add. And when you add, you can see staple marks. Okay guys, let's go back around the front here and have a peek. I like to leave my front cut to last because it's the most visual. I like to see how my sides are going to turn out first, then I'll go around to the front and do the front. So basically all I'm going to do is I split the pile and I staple them on the fronts at my Y joint or my V joint, whatever you want to, whatever you guys feel like calling it. Okay, back around the front here, we're going to fold this under, and I just pound the staples in there. Then I feel there's a little lip under there, I want to cut it. I just follow the contour like that. It's hard for the camera guy to get under there, but we're just going to push it up into the 90, push it up into the 90. I'm going to cover that seam up a little bit, and then I'm just going to follow the contour with my knife. And there it is there. Okay, you stay right there, Ty. I'm just gonna move around the back here. I'm doing the same thing around the sides here and around the back as I did at the front. Just gonna cut that little loop there, follow the contour, there it goes. I'm gonna do the same at the back. Right, I'm gonna cut, follow the contour. Got that out. Okay guys, let's do that front, the most serious part of it. And why it's the most serious part is because here, where you have your flat stair meeting your round stair, you've got some extra play here. And when you have to crumple that in, sometimes you can see it. So I always like to do it last. I like to push it down with my thumb, and I like to work the bubble underneath. And I like to get that tight, and that gives it that round. So now I'm ready to kind of go and carve my little guy out here. So let's follow the contour, give him a V, fit that in, split the pile there. See how I split that pile? And I'll get right in there like that so that I can get the best seam possible. Look at that, guys. Beautiful. Now we'll cut that off again. Right, so now we're done there. Now, you can see it's a little rough here. What we like to do is we pound that out with the hammer again. And we shape it. And we form it. Look at that, guys. Beautiful. Beautiful. And listen, after we're done this video, we're gonna go over it again and we're gonna trim it, we're gonna vacuum it, we're gonna clean it. But for the purposes of time, let's finish this up for you guys. Now, the magic hour. We're gonna finish. Remember that tail? We got that tail. Here's that tail. We're gonna wrap that tail around. And I'm gonna swing around the back here. All I'm gonna do is chop that down a little bit. Fold that in. I got an extra inch on the back end. It's hard for the camera guy to get in here and see that. But I mean, you guys know what, you guys get the gist of it. I'm just gonna cut that tail off. Give that a little pound on the back. And guys, guess what? After I pull this hair, we're done. That was pretty quick. Now we're gonna go over this, clean it up a little bit more. Obviously, for the aspect of time, we wanted to show you guys this quick, and I'm sure my my helper Tyler's dying from holding the camera. This is Keith Shannon with directcarpet.ca. Check out our website, directcarpet.ca, for more videos. We'll see you on the next one.